What the? Hello. Wait. There's no sound? Can you not hear me? Can you not hear me? Oh, somebody said no sound. Okay. That's sus. Hey, Richard. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Okay, somebody said, now they said they can hear me. Okay. Someone said when I first logged on that there was no sound. Unless you meant like before I got onto the stream, because I never have sound on that. That's only for the fancy streamers that have background music. I don't even know how to do that. Right now, I'm actually in communication with YouTube because I'm trying to get them to tell me how to put my lives on 18 plus. Because we have some serious dark shit to talk about today. Hey, Linda. Thank you. Yes, everybody that is in this live, please like it and also subscribe. Subscribing is free. Sharing the stream is free. Liking the stream is free. So yeah, I'm asking YouTube like how you set your live to 18 plus because hey Mohammed, hey everybody, because we have a lot to talk about today that is super dark. We're going to be talking about Gaza and the assassinations. And hey, Zach, and I want to make sure that it's 18 plus so that YouTube doesn't give me YouTube doesn't cry about it or like make a big deal about it. My entire channel is already 18 plus, or at least it says it's not made for kids. Wait a second. Hey, Blakely, from Santa Monica Pier via Asbury Park, not the gentrified part. Hey, how's it going? Was I at the beach? No. Hi, Susie. Hey, Amor, how have you been? Guys, this week has been so dark. Okay. All right, guys, just 1 second. I will contact the okay. Hey, Zach. All hasn't it been dark? Like we are living in a parallel timeline. All right. So basically what I was just doing is I was trying to talk to YouTube because I was like, okay, hey, even though everybody and their mom is talking about what happened in Gaza the last couple days, the person who the journalist that was decapitated by the IOF, the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh in Iran, and the reports and videos that came out of Israelis cheering people being gotta make a gif out of likely typing. That's funny, Amor. About how they actually have a right to sexually assault Palestinian detainees. Okay. So it's definitely going to be a heavier, stream, but yeah, so I was contacting them basically to ask them how to make it 18 plus. Yeah, that's a good idea, Linda. So yeah. So I shouldn't have to, you know? Like I shouldn't have to. A lot of people are talking about this. I saw a ton of channels talking about it. So I shouldn't even have to. And my channel is already 18 plus, as I said. The problem is, or I guess it's not a problem, but the reason why I was asking was just because, you know, like, because what a couple weeks ago, when I was just, well, I guess it was longer than that now, like a month ago or something, when I was just reporting on the news and the Al Nusrat massacre, they were trying to censor it. They were trying to censor it. And then eventually they undid it, but then they put it at 18 plus. So like they were trying to censor it and then they undid their penalty, but then they were like, put it at 18 plus. It's like, okay, well, I just don't understand because I'm like, my channel is 18 plus already, right? And again, I'm not talking about anything that many other people, including many other journalists, aren't talking about. Anyway, things happened. Haniyeh Ismail, Hezbollah commander. Yeah. The Olympics Paris opening. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw my video on that. I kind of lost my shit a little bit on the Christians that were upset about that. That really kind of made me lose it. I made a video about that. I posted about that because it made me so angry. I am so tired of so-called Christians all being outraged by trans people, but they have no problem with the Israeli regime killing children. No problem. You bring that up and they're like, Israel's our ally. They're our ally. Bible says so. But then like they cry about trans people at the Olympics. Like I'm so over it. What they should have been outraged about, was the fact that the Israelis were allowed to compete at the Olympics. The Russians weren't, Belarus wasn't, but they were. It's just like the fake Christians are what really get under my skin, because it's like, how are you pretending that you care so much about God? You're so offended about trans people, but you don't care that children are getting massacred in Gaza. If that's your Christianity, yeah, exactly, Susie, same thing. They don't care about Palestinians that are targeted. I mean, Christian Palestinian, they don't care. Churches being bombed in Gaza, don't care. It's just so fake. They're so fake. All right. Oh, did you guys see, and also did you guys see, maybe we can, because we'll be talking about like things that are dark, maybe we can have also watch that video that's funny to laugh at, of I think it was a Brazilian guy at the Olympics talking about how like the Israeli team wasn't that good, and some like lunatic starts like waving his scarf in his face. That was funny. Okay. Yeah, they don't care about Christian Palestinians. Absolutely. No, of course, we know that they don't care. They're just, but it's still annoying because I am a Christian. And so I find their fakeness and their fake outrage really obnoxious. Zach. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh, Elon Musk. I can't. You know what I find funny about the people that stand for Elon Musk is, again, like the Christian Zionists, absolutely no critical thinking skills. Like, they claim that they care so much about free speech. Excuse me. Bless me. And they care so much about, not having billionaires and the government and the oligarchs interfere in our elections and blah, 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 blah. And here's Elon Musk, who is an oligarch who works with the government. He's entangled with all of his businesses with our government and governments around the world, trying to influence our election. And the right wingers are like, yeah, cool. Like, it's so ridiculous. Where was it? Is really at. Does anybody have know what to search in Twitter to find that clip? I want to find the clip of the Brazilian guy that was like, Israel did okay, and then the guy's like losing it on him. I want to find that clip, but if he's giving his opinion. Yeah, but he's not just giving his opinion, Ed. He pledged $40 million a month to him. That's the difference. Brazil, Israel Olympics reporter. Let me see if I can find that. Brazil. I thought Brazil had a Z in it. Olympics, Israel reporter. Yes. Thank you, Marco. Perfect. All right. Like I said, because we're going to be talking about some, dark things, I feel like it's fun. Here's the thing. You have to have laughter even in despair and darkness. So because we're going to be talking about dark things, I want to start with this to just, give us a little laugh, because this video is not only so amazing, it really encapsulates the Israelis just in general. Like, it kind of encapsulates the entire thing. And by that, I mean the way they interact with people who are not already on their side. Because this guy is clearly not some ideologue. He's not some pro-Palestinian protester wearing a keffiyeh. Like, he literally is just talking about the game. And these people just appear to gaslight him and tell him no politics. And then he's like, bro, like, it's so good.
Free Palestine, free Palestine, free.
And what do you think about the game?
I thought it was a good game. I thought in the beginning Israel was better, but now Mali is is destroying them. I think Israel is not bad. Israel is not bad, but I think Mali is going to destroy them today. No, I'm just talking about football. I'm just talking about football.
Mali is the best. No politics here.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Whoa.
Thank you.
And now he's losing it. And now he's
And what do you think about the game?
What I love so much about that is that he starts it, right? The guy's just trying to talk about the game. And he wasn't being political at all. He was just talking about the game. And the guy's waving his flag in his face, being like, but also gaslighting him because he's the one wagging his flag in his face and then telling him, no politic here. The guy's like, I'm just talking about football, actually. So no politic here. And he's like, okay, like, and then it's really funny. I actually love his response too, because some people might try to argue. Oh, so they're French. Some people might try to argue and be like, oh, screw you, or don't say that, whatever. But like, I love that the guy just started screaming free Palestine. And then like the Israelis like lose their shit and start acting like they're victims. Like, how dare you? Fuck you. I gotta grab a tissue one more time.
I thought it was a good game. I thought in the beginning Israel was better, but now Mali is is destroying them. I think Israel is not bad. Israel is not bad, but I think Mali is going to destroy them today. No, I'm just talking about football. I'm just talking about football. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, he's so offended. He's very offended.
And what do you think about the game?
I thought it was a good game. I thought in the beginning Israel was better, but now Mali is is destroying them. I think.
Called KK. Okay. Yeah, I love that. Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis and Iran. I know. It's so cringe. I need antihistamines. No, I know. I have really bad allergies. I have really bad allergies. I actually do take those. I take a antihistamine. Okay. So something, guys, that was really making me upset today was that and I posted a video shortly about it, but I also want to talk about it here on stream because my audience is different, but on TikTok than on here. But it really upset me that, I don't know how many of you heard this already, but there was a journalist named, I think, Ismail Al Ghouls. I don't know how they pronounce it because I know they don't use a G. And he was decapitated in Gaza the other day as he was reporting on the assassination of Ismail Hania. Al. And of course, we know that they murder journalists. They've continued to murder journalists over and over and over again without any consequences, without any justice. And so, of course, I get on X today and I see, okay, not just people tweeting about it. It was, the caption was, IOF kills Hamas Al Jazeera journalist. Literally no evidence. It's so maddening that they call everything Hamas and that's the end of the discussion. And I was looking at some of the people's tweets and their defense for it, and it was literally, they not only had no evidence that he was a part of any militant group, but when I said, do you have any evidence that this guy was a part of Hamas? Their response, no joke, one of the person's responses was, he worked for Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera is Hamas. Literally. Al Jazeera is Hamas. Like, no, it's literally, yes, you're right. They also killed a photojournalist too. It literally is everything is Hamas. And you know what? And I said this in my other video, but why, I guess, should they come up with another excuse or line? Because they never have to be accountable for anything and no one ever questions them. So they can just say everything and anything I don't like is Hamas. We kill a journalist, we decapitate them. We don't provide any evidence. The guy worked for Al Jazeera. He clearly was marked press, and they killed him anyway. And then they go, Hamas. Well, do you have evidence that he was a part of a militant group? Yeah, the fact they work for Al Jazeera, because Al Jazeera is Hamas. And his press badge was Hamas. Evidence? No, nothing. So then, and if you'll notice, none of them even, like I said, they're so comfortable with not ever having to be accountable for anything that they do, that what I'm saying is, they're so comfortable with not having to be accountable with anything that they do that they've become lazy in their propaganda. Like, they don't even bother coming up with another lie anymore. They don't even bother coming up with another story anymore because they know that no one's going to press them. They know there's going to be no backlash. There's going to be nothing from the international community. The so-called world free press is not going to care or say anything. There's going to be no sanctions. There's going to be no condemnation. There's going to be no investigation. There's going to be no accountability. So why would they need to come up with another lie? Why would they even need to come up with another story? All they have to say is, but Hamas, and that's sufficient. It's sufficient. It's just but Hamas and it's sufficient. So this ghoul wrote, in a surprise to absolutely no one, Ismail al-Ghul, the Al Jazeera reporter killed by the IOF in Gaza, was actually a terrorist who participated in October 7th. Evidence? Like, they just say shit. What's your evidence that he was a part of October 7th? Any? No? Bueller? Yeah, Linda, I agree. I am so tired of that line too, as well as Israel has a right to defend itself. But like I said, the thing that is so maddening is that they don't even have to come up with new Hezbollah. They don't even have to come up with new propaganda because no one ever questions it. Like, I have not seen anyone go, where's your evidence that he was a part of October 7th? No one's asked. No one's gone, where's your evidence that he was a part of a militant group? No one's asked at all. They just assume. And it's disgusting. It's so disgusting because they smear Palestinians even in their death. Even in their death, they smear them. Yeah, this is literally their answer when you ask them for evidence. That's their answer. Source? Yeah. All you hear over and over again is Israel has a right to defend itself. And, oh, we can do whatever we want. Because but Hamas. Yeah. Yeah, that's true that Black Soul proves that everyone is complicit in this genocide. True. Because yes, of course, the ones who are, you know, the most complicit would be the West, the United States, the UK, the fact that we're funding it and we're propping it up. But I feel like a lot of people have let places like Egypt off the hook when they're charging Palestinians tens of thousands of dollars to even try to evacuate, gouging them to try to evacuate. And even the Palestinians that have been able to get into Egypt, I have been told by people from Gaza that when they got to Egypt, they were being gouged by people in Egypt once they found out they were Palestinian, like overcharging them for goods and stuff because they knew they were desperate. And what has the Egyptian government done to help? And that doesn't mean, just because I say the Egyptian government is also complicit in this, that means that I think the Palestinians should have to go to Egypt. Like, absolutely not. They shouldn't have to leave their homes. Of course. We know that the Israeli regime is trying to get them out so that they can steal what's left of their land. So I'm not at all suggesting or saying that like they should all go to Egypt. They shouldn't have to. But for the Palestinians that are trying to go to Egypt, and many of them have, the fact that they are being gouged the way they're being gouged just to go is insanity. No, I know. I know Egypt has a dictator. I know. Because that's the thing, is that like a lot of these Arab governments are complicit because they work with us. Saudi Arabia, Egypt. Egypt is our second biggest recipient of foreign aid in the United States. We give them a lot of money in aid and we prop up their dictator. Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean, they're all corrupt. It's all disgusting. It's upsetting to me when I think about the fact that like there's literally no one like in a position of power, I mean, that is coming to the defense of the Palestinians. We're just watching them get slaughtered. And everybody's just like, anyway, it's just maddening. It's maddening. It's something that I don't believe that we would see if it was any other country. Any other country, there would at least be some governments that may step in. But then when it comes to what's happening in Gaza, and they're trapped. They're trapped. That's why it gets on my nerves. It grates on my nerves when people are like, what about Ukraine? What about Ukraine? It's a totally different situation. It's not even close. Hi, Skylar. Thank you. These people are such liars. And no one even... So then this... I love this comic. Yeah, where's the lie? And then this liar... Where was he? Oh, actually, I don't think I retweeted him. But... Wait, did Kamala Harris pick her? No. Okay, see this? How biased it's written on here? Well, yeah, Han, anybody that it receives money from America, it has strings attached to it. We're not doing it for charity. Like, this is just such propaganda. Eliminates Hamas operative and journalist. Like, the way this is written is a joke. The way that this is written is a joke. It is an actual joke. Like, so biased, so biased. Also, Why are you putting that on there as if it's fact? That has not been confirmed. I thought Elon Musk cared about the facts, Jack. I thought he wanted free speech, but also the facts. Why are you putting that up like that as a headline when it has not been confirmed? I mean, it's just insane. Insane lies. And then you go to it and you see endless lies from these clowns. The Israeli Defense Forces has revealed that an Al Jazeera journalist named Ismail Al-Ghul was eliminated yesterday in the Gaza Strip by Israeli airstrike, was actually a well-known terrorist operative within Hamas's Nukba naval commandos who had participated in October 7th with the publication and filming of propaganda videos showing attacks. Wait a second. Are they saying that he participated in October 7th because he reported on it? Oh, you guys, I think that's what they're saying. They're claiming that he participated in October 7th because he reported on it. And the fact that they actually put journalism in quotes in this is a joke. What a joke. They're just such liars. It's just so disgusting how they just smear these people in death. There was a guy that, all right, let's watch this really quick. This is another press journalist from Gaza actually calling this out.
والتغطية مستمرة بإذن الله. جماعة هذا الدرع هذه الشارة التي لطخت بالدم لإسكات الكلمة وإسكات الصورة في غزة. لن تسكت الكلمة.
The word will not be silenced. The reporting and the coverage will continue. This is the shield that the press and local organizations are praising. The shield to protect my colleagues. It did not protect any of my colleagues. It is smeared with Ismail's blood and fire. What did he do? He reported the news, covered the suffering of the people. God is sufficient for us. I'm sorry, Ismail. He will continue the message after. His insides are still on it. First of all, I want to say that that video is incredible. Remember, guys, that they don't allow anybody in. They're not allowing international press in. In the past, there would be like American reporters that would be allowed in from CNN. There would be BBC reporters from the UK that would be allowed in. They're not allowing anyone in. So the only people that can actually report on the massacres that are happening are Palestinian journalists. And as he points out, it doesn't matter if they wear a press vest. It has not protected them. Why were they taking off all their press? Honestly, I don't know for sure because that's the first time well, I guess it's not the first time they've done that. I actually think I have seen a video of somebody doing that before. I think it's a protest. I could be wrong, but what it looked like to me was them protesting. Like protesting the fact that and making a statement, not just about what the Israeli regime is doing, but because of what the international community is doing, the world is doing, the world press, ignoring them, not caring about their protection, not caring about protecting the free press in Gaza. And I think that they're doing it to call out the hypocrisy. Yeah, exactly, Marco. It was a gesture. The vest means nothing. It protects you from nothing. And in fact, as Gaz just said, I think oftentimes them wearing a press vest makes them more of a target, right? Because the Israeli regime does not want press. They don't want people throughout the world seeing what's happening. They don't want people throughout the world to see what is going on. They don't want you to see it. So oftentimes when people are wearing press vests, it does make them more of a target. But you know what, though? they will attack them regardless. Yeah, Sufyan. Yeah, that's right. They will attack them regardless. If a Palestinian is wearing a press vest, they will target them while wearing a press vest. It does not protect them. But also, if the Palestinian journalist takes off their press vest because they don't want to be targeted, then they say, oh, well, then they're a terrorist. They just smear them. They say, oh, they're a part of. Who is calling me? They just smear them. They just smear them and say, oh, actually, that's Hamas. Like, so they can't, it's a lose-lose situation for them because they're targeted if they wear the press vest and they're targeted if they don't wear it. But I actually think that, you know, I like the fact that they just, you know, turned that off, took it off. I like the fact that they took it off and put it on the ground because I think that it's true and it was a powerful statement that they made, because not only are they, what they're saying with that statement is, we are not protected regardless of whether or not we're wearing a press vest or not. We are not protected as journalists. But I also think it's a good statement because they are calling out the international press. They're calling out the international press with that statement. Like, where are you? Where are you? The international press loves to talk about how they protect journalists everywhere. They care about journalist freedom everywhere. They care about protection everywhere. And yet, where are they on Gaza? Silent. Silent. And so is the United States, of course, because you notice that in our corporate media, the corporate media loves to talk about the press freedom when they're talking about Russia. When they're talking about Russia, they love to talk about press freedom. No, Putin. But then when it comes to Gaza and these men protesting about the fact that they are not being protected as journalists and as the press, all of a sudden, nowhere to be seen. It's just disgusting. It's just such a helpless feeling to know that they're like, what can you do, you know? And people are just turning a blind eye to it. It's maddening. And then they get smeared and they get lied about and they say the same old, same old. It's but Hamas, 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 no matter what they do. All right. That's I'm not going to show the picture here, obviously, because I wouldn't be able to show it, but I'm sure you guys saw the picture of him in the car. All right, let's talk really quick about Ismail Haniyeh. This is an interesting. It starts from the U.S. That's the bitter truth. Americans must become more active. Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, it's an obvious truth. It's an obvious truth, but unfortunately, people don't care. It seems like people don't really have that much of a problem with the fact that all of our politicians are completely bought off by the Israeli regime. And a lot of people who previously, had a problem with it, all of a sudden don't. Very weird how quick that happened. Wow, the funeral procession of I have no idea what he's saying. Yeah, so this is the photo before, like, not that long before they killed this journalist. This journalist was reporting on what had happened in Iran with the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh before he was killed. So as many of you know, I'm sure you know, Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated on the day of the inauguration of the new Iranian president in Iran, in Tehran. And Ismail Haniyeh was one of the main negotiators, hostage negotiators. I obviously don't know all the details into that, but something about it is super sus. Super sus. Because how did they get in? How did they get the intelligence? And how are they able to be so precise when they seemingly can't be so, like, precise when it comes to Gaza? Yeah, something about that ain't right. So, oh, of course we're involved somehow. I just don't know how yet. Like, I don't know how that's going to unfold. But I do know, just based on the statements that all these people have made, Hayden, I know I was being sarcastic, of course. Of course they could be precise. I want to know how. And also, we know that the reason why they're also doing this is because they really, really want to go to war with Iran. And there's no way that the Iranians are going to accept this happening without some type of retaliation, because this was a humiliation for them. And doesn't Iran have a right to defend themselves? I don't hear anybody saying that. And so Iran will retaliate. And then as a result of that, you're going to hear all the warmongers here and in the Israeli regime talking about how we need to go to war with Iran. Like, it's mad weapons of mass destruction vibes. Has a good ring to it. Yes. Somebody needs to make me a tacky Catholic looking shirt with that name. Why was I losing my train of thought here? So yeah, so we know that they are going to be, I know, but Iran can't not respond because then they're going to look really weak. So they're probably going to do what they did last time where they brought up, like, they kind of like gave warning before they did a strike and it was like super weak. But nonetheless, regardless of how Iran responds, the whole point is that they want to go to war with Iran. They've wanted to go to war with Iran for years. You have Netanyahu talking about going to war with Iran for decades. And then you have politicians here in America making up stories about how Iran is just on the brink of getting a nuclear weapon. They've been saying that for 25 years. They're almost there. They're just almost there. They're not. And then the nuclear deal, the JCPOA, was put into place. And then, of course, Donald Trump came in. He got rid of it as soon as he came into office. They have wanted this for years. Years. The neocons in this country and the neocons in that country. So and what happened to the hostages? Israel has a history of killing Hamas leaders who are trying to secure ceasefires. Yeah, he was the person that was working. Ismail Haniyeh was the guy that was working on the ceasefire negotiations. He was also working on the hostage deal. Further evidence that they don't actually care about the hostages. They never cared about the hostages. They never, ever, ever, ever wanted to get the hostages back. And they never wanted a ceasefire. That's why they keep taking out those leaders that did that.
والمصور رامي الريفي بقصف إسرائيلي استهدفهما في مدينة غزة. أنا آسفة، استشهاد مراسل الجزيرة إسماعيل الغول والمصور رامي الريفي بقصف إسرائيلي استهدفهما في مدينة غزة. إسماعيل الغول كان معنا اليوم من مخيم الشاطئ.
She's talking about how they assassinated Haniyeh and then immediately went after that journalist. Are the Olympics still going on? Israel-Hamas tensions escalate. Like, get out of here. I thought this point by Squirrel was interesting. You didn't hear about it. Hamas official says that group would lay down its arms if an independent Palestinian state was established. You didn't hear about it because the entire Western media and political class immediately memory hold it. But Ismail Haniyeh proposed that Hamas lay down its arms and accept a two-state solution months ago. They assassinated him because they want genocide. Exactly. I mean, this is absolutely true. It is very clear if you watch anything having to do with Israel and Gaza that the impediment to peace has always been Israel. It has never been the Palestinians. That's what they tell Americans. They always tell Americans, oh, we have no partner for peace. You know, they won't stop firing rockets. They want from the river to the sea. We can never have it, blah, 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 blah. But like when you actually read at the history and actually understand the history and like actually learn about it and listen to the Palestinians and listen to what the resistance groups have said, it has always been and what Israel has said. The right-wingers who talk about greater Israel and Netanyahu talking about settlements, they have always been the impediment to peace. They literally assassinated one of their own prime ministers at the idea that they might create some type of two-state solution or peace. What was his name? Ismail Rabin? Something like that. This is the UN in Palestine talking about what happened to Ismail Haniyeh.
Believe there will never be the Palestinian leadership condemns in the strongest terms the assassination of former Palestinian Prime Minister and head of the political bureau of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, in Tehran today. We demand accountability.
Yeah, but do you condemn Hamas though? But do you, Itzhak Rabin? Thank you. Itzhak Rabin, correct. Thank you, Marco. Yeah, but do you condemn Hamas though? Yeah, and doesn't anybody else think it's sus that they went after the political bureau?
For this assassination, as we have continually demanded accountability for the wanton murder and injury of over 130,000 Palestinian children, women, and men across these past 300 days of horror and hell in Gaza, and call for accountability for all of Israel's criminal policies and practices in our territory across the decades. Mr. President, violence and terror are clearly Israel's main and only currency.
True.
Not international law, not diplomacy, not mediation, not respect for human life. There is no red line for Israel. No law it will not breach.
True.
No norm it will not trample.
True.
No act too depraved or barbaric for its occupying army and settler militias. And no child, woman, or man off limits, even babies considered legitimate targets. The Israeli Prime Minister and his coalition of government extremists and military commanders believe there will never be a cost for their crimes. They believe they can literally get away with murder, get away with genocide against the Palestinian people. They believe it because it has been possible until now. No resolution, no ICJ order, no ceasefire calls have been respected. No demand for protection of civilians and humanitarian access has been heeded, and still no consequences whatsoever for Israel. Israel is proving every single day that it will continue to act as a rogue state. The assassination today and all the crimes preceding it and that have followed it in the ensuing hours prove this beyond the shadow of a doubt. Israel openly declares its intentions to carry on, defying the Council and the international community as a whole, brazenly carrying on with its scorched earth killing and destruction spree in Gaza, vowing to further entrench its colonial annexationist occupation and its racist, discriminatory, hateful policies against the Palestinian people and recklessly escalating tensions. There is no right that Israel can claim.
It's actually almost unbelievable if you didn't know it was happening for sure. Like when you listen to this woman talk, if you didn't know for sure what they had done and everything that they continue to do, it would sound like what she is saying is unbelievable. Like, how is somebody getting away with this? Guys asked, how old is Blake? Why is this a trend lately? There's been a trend lately about people asking my age. I'm probably younger than you think. And I say that only because my entire life, I've always been mistaken for being older than I was. Even when I was a teenager. When I was like 17, 18, people thought I was in my mid-20s. I remember when I was 21, people thought I was 28. So like, I'm probably younger than you assume because, like I just said, I'm always mistaken for being much older than I am. But does it matter though? Does it matter? Like, why would it matter what my age is?
To justify these war crimes and crimes against humanity. The right to peace and security is the...
No, guys, it's okay. It's not like a huge deal. I just find it interesting that so many people are always like asking me that. Yeah, I just think it, I mean, I'm not like mad or anything. I find it interesting that that I get asked that a lot, and I'm like, why does it matter?
right of all states in the region and in every region of the world. It is not an exclusive right of Israel. Mr. President, Israel has been the oppressor, tormentor, and murderer of Palestinians for decades, and it is the long-standing destabilizer of our region. It must be stopped. The international community has a choice to make. Let it be for peace and security. Do not let Israel drag us all to the abyss.
Yeah, seriously, why doesn't anybody care that that's happening? Like, honestly, why doesn't anybody care that that's happening? They're literally dragging the entire world and region down with them. Like, and everybody's like, okay. They have been such a destructive force. Ugh. Not only that, but I do find it very ironic that the whole point of Israel supposedly was supposed to be a safe haven for Jewish people. I can't think of a more like volatile way to live than to constantly, like, I was watching, I don't even remember where I was watching it because I watch so much like content now on Gaza and Israel, but I was watching this video and just like looking at some of the ways that it's so militarized there, the checkpoints and the guards, and I'm like, this is supposed to be safety. First of all, your safety cannot come at the expense of the dignity and freedom and human rights of another group that you're living on top of. And literally keeping in a cage so that they can't break out and have freedom too. That's number one. But number two, how are you saying that, like, this is about freedom and this is about safety when you're causing havoc everywhere and you have to have constant security and constant checkpoints in order to secure this so-called freedom and safety? It seems as though the opposite is happening. Does no one notice that? I don't understand. Does no one notice that the opposite seems to be happening? Oh, that was the end. I really want to get a Palestinian flag to like put in my apartment. That would be really cool. That would be very cool. No, I know. They're trying to sell off their land. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, I want to get a Palestinian flag, but I don't want to buy some like cheap one off like Amazon that's like made by some factory. I want to get one that's like from a Palestinian brand so I can support Palestinian brands. Yes, Palestine was a huge reason for 9/11, but also the fact that the US had military bases in Saudi Arabia, the Muslim Holy Land. Yes, yes. I feel like that a lot of times the 9/11, whenever we're talking about 9/11, it always gets like boiled down to something too like simplistic. But it definitely had multiple reasons. Our support for Israel was definitely one of them. But as God said, it was also the fact that the U.S. had multiple bases there, and they felt like Osama bin Laden specifically felt like it was a slap in the face to the Holy Lands, which, first of all, I'm not here to defend Osama bin Laden, okay? Osama bin Laden was not some like awesome guy or whatever, especially since it wasn't like what's happening with the Palestinians, where the Palestinians are oppressed against their will and there's nothing they can do about it and they have no freedom. The Saudis are not innocent in the West being there. They're absolutely complicit in the West being there. Yeah, I've read the letter by Osama bin Laden. Like, Osama bin Laden had it like he was acting like the West was just there trampling all over the Saudis and taking their oil and disrespecting Mecca. It's like, bro, the Saudis were the Saudi royal family and the kingdom were absolutely complicit in that. It was not just the West being there, like the great Satan, like they were working together. The Saudis were allowing the US to have those bases there, and they were buying oil from them. So this idea that Osama bin Laden had, where it was like the great Satan just came in and set up all these bases against the Saudis' will, like, no, that's not what happened. Like, absolutely complicit in it. It's different. It is different when it comes to Palestine because of the fact that the Palestinians don't have any freedom. They're being held against their will. They're being oppressed and not given any type of freedom. That is not the case in Saudi Arabia. Specifically speaking, obviously, about the Saudi government. Like, people forget that Osama bin Laden's dad was a construction magnate who actually helped build infrastructure for the American government to come in and build up those oil fields. Yeah. And he was also propped up when he was in Afghanistan, when he was working with the Mujahideen to get out the Soviets from Afghanistan. So yeah, all I'm saying is I'm not going to try to whitewash Osama bin Laden as if he was some really, really great guy that like really just cared about the freedom, of people. And he was just really opposed, to the West and Israel. It's like those things were true, but that was not the only reason why he opposed them. And in fact, when it came to Kuwait, right? Remember what's his bucket from Iran? Saddam Hussein, not Iran, Iraq. Saddam Hussein went into Kuwait. Osama bin Laden actually went to the Saudi government and said, "Oh, I could help fight them," because the Saudi government was concerned that if Saddam Hussein was going to just invade Kuwait like it ain't no thing, they were kind of concerned that he might do the same to them. And Osama bin Laden's like, "Hey, man, I can help." And the Saudi government was like, that's okay. And who did the Saudi government go to help in Kuwait? The U.S., the great Satan. So we're talking two peas in a pod here, okay? We are fully allied with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has been our ally for a long time. We've been working with them for a very long time. So let's not pretend that Saudi Arabia or Osama bin Laden were just these like flowers that were just trying to live their lives, and the great Satan came in and took all their oil. Just saying. Because I feel like that there are some people, especially when the Osama bin Laden letter recirculated, that were trying to like retcon him in his image. I'm like, let's not. We should just be accurate about what the history was. On 9/12, the only airplane that was allowed to fly was on the bin Laden's family private plane, instead of the FBI questioning them. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And they still have never released all the files. They've never released all the files from 9/11, which also sus. Why? Very weird. All right, so we're going to talk about the video where, oh my gosh, the guy. Yeah, the guy, the people that were protesting in Israel that were mad that some soldiers who had tortured Palestinian detainees were apprehended for a little bit. They let them out. So yeah, we're going to have to. Yeah, exactly, Nader. Nader, you're right. It was after the fall of the USSR. So we're going to have to talk about that because it's super dark, but it's important. Saudi sponsored 9/11 was published an article recently. Where? Who published that article? Yeah, I want to watch the video talking about the Israelis. First of all, little break reminder because I need to grab my water. To subscribe to my YouTube, become a member. You can become a member on YouTube. I've been on live for over an hour, okay? Over an hour. And not one person has sent me a sticker. Not one. Not one of yous has sent me a sticker or a super chat. Over an hour. But seriously, you can become a member on my YouTube. You can send super chats. You can send super chats and stickers to me during this live. Or you can become a member on my Ko-Fi, or you can become, I think, a member on Instagram or a subscriber on Instagram, or you can donate to my Venmo to support my work. Thank you in advance. And then let's talk about, I'm going to grab my water, and then let's talk about the Palestinian detainees that the Atlantic. Okay, I'm going to have to look into that. Deep Saudi, the 9/11 evidence points to deep Saudi complicity. I'm going to have to look into that. Yeah, theater of the absurd. We did know that. I knew that. I didn't know like to the extent because they haven't released everything regarding 9/11, but I did know that they were involved, but we don't care because they're our ally. It's kind of like when Jamal Khashoggi got killed and we all pretended like we were going to do something about it, and then we didn't. It's all about power and money. All right, hold on. Let me grab my water and pee. Detainee, I think, that were protesting because they were mad that they let them out. Oh my gosh, this video is insane. The spokesperson for the State Department refuses to call the sexual assault and torture of a detainee a war crime.
An Israeli detention camp. Does that constitute a war? Israeli police detained soldiers yesterday or the day before yesterday, suspected of raping a Palestinian, sparking protests and so on. Apparently, rape and killing and torture and all this thing happens regularly in Israeli detention camps. Does that constitute a war crime to you?
So the reports of abuse are deeply concerning, and we have been clear and consistent with Israel and the IDF that they need to treat all detainees humanely and with dignity in accordance with humanitarian law. We also, I spoke a little bit about this earlier in the week, Said. We reiterate the support that the IDF is investigating some of these allegations of serious abuse of Palestinian detainees, and that is news that we welcome. And we're going to let that process, and we believe in due process, and we're going to let that process play out.
2 quick points. Now, if proven to be true, that does constitute a war crime, doesn't it?
I'm not a legal expert, Said. It certainly, I imagine it would be inconsistent with Israeli law. And so, of course, that is why we have been clear that the treatment of any detainee needs to be consistent with international humanitarian law.
I like how they always say the same thing. They always go, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'll have to get back to you. I didn't hear that. And they just like come up with a bunch of ridiculous excuses. They'll be like, Spox means spokesperson. It's like a shorthand for spokesperson. But then they'll be like, no, but the thing is that like, I know their job is supposed to spin things, but what happens is when it comes to the Israeli regime or when it comes to Russia, they'll say it is fact. Oh, how dare they? We heard this. They did this. They need to be held accountable for this without even having any evidence. But then when it comes to like facts that we know about, then they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to get back to you. Thank you. Perry Stein, the first very generous supporter to give me a super chat today. $5. Thank you so much. I am a little over an hour and 13 minutes into this stream, and you are my first super chat. Thank you so much, Perry. I appreciate you and everybody that supports my work and the content that I create. I love you. Thank you very much. Did you hear about the pro-Palestinian protester who was pepper sprayed in Times Square yesterday? Yes. Insane. Like literally being like, oh, I don't have to help you because like, oh my gosh, where was that? Times Square. Maybe we can find it. Actually, I'll try pepper spray. Yeah.
I'm burning yourself.
Emergency medical services arrived.
Maybe you should take off the hat because it's going to be on you.
Okay, but where's where's the refusal? I thought there was a video of it. I thought there was a video. I guess not. This person, this Israeli genocide supporters just walking around pepper spraying people, and then you have propagandists like Andy No being like a pro-Israeli woman who was surrounded by Palestinian mob and hit with a liquid in Times Square, pepper sprays all over. Like the way they always like frame it as if they're the victim, like as if they're the victim. Totally insane. Okay, I'm gonna find the protesters. Okay, this is it. Protesters have breached Bay lead, attempting to free soldiers accused of torturing. I didn't realize that this was a video at first from a propagandist. I should have known. I like how they said accused of torturing a Hamas terrorist detainee. See? This is what I said. Everything I don't like is Hamas. Everything I don't like is Hamas. There is literally zero evidence that the person that they were torturing, that they were raping in detention, had anything to do with Hamas. No evidence. But like I said earlier in the first story we were talking about the journalist that they murdered, all they have to do is say, but Hamas, and it's over. That's it. That's it. They're like, oh, first of all, it was already confirmed. Pass the collection plate around for... First of all, thank you, Theater, for the second super chat that I've been given. Thank you very much. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you all so much that support this channel, become members, give super chats, donate. It really means a lot to me. It makes it so that I can continue to do this. But I honestly think you're onto something with this. I kind of do like St. Blakely. I kind of do want someone to draw a video of me or a photo of me. And as like the saints, you know, with like the really tacky backgrounds, like the Catholic shit. And then I'm going to put it on a shirt. Come at me. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye, stuff. Yeah, I just can't with this. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this. Everything I don't like is Hamas. Everyone is Hamas. We defend, you know, we're going to defend rapists, literal, actual people being tortured and detained and raped, and just call them Hamas. Just call them Hamas. This guy was not a part of Hamas, by the way. And actually, of course he took it down. He didn't want people to see it. Of course. Yeah, because it makes it look bad. I don't know what happened to Elon Musk, but he seems to be like a fed for the Israeli regime now. Okay, but so you have this video of them protesting for the right, okay? So they're trying to protest for the right, okay, to sexually abuse people, sexually assault prisoners. Pro-genocide people took the morning off to protest a trans bond. That turned out not to be trans. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Of course they did. Of course they did. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they're protesting. For anybody that doesn't know, and I'm sure that most of you that are watching, you're pretty plugged in, you do know, but for anybody who might not, they're protesting because they're mad that a couple soldiers actually got detained for actually raping a Palestinian in detention. They're mad that those soldiers might be held accountable. That's what they're mad about. Not that the soldiers sexually assaulted someone and tortured them. Not about that. They're mad at the idea of them being held accountable. There is something wrong with this society. Yes, gang rape. They gang raped this person. There is something seriously wrong with a society that is mad at the idea of accountability for a rapist than they are for the actual crime that happened. They're chanting death to Arabs. Far-right politicians were reported to be among the protesters, of course. 9 soldiers were detained over substantial abuse of a Palestinian prisoner, which allegedly took place in the detention facility of this state. Bro, the IRF are vicious, so the fact that they actually detained someone means it must have been really bad. Like, this is not unique. This is not unique. The IOF does this to Palestinians all the time. So the fact that they actually detained some of the soldiers means that it must have been pretty severe. And you have lunatics coming into this base protesting against them being held accountable. Against them being, I still just can't get over it. It's insane. Israeli media said the prisoner was hospitalized and the injury showed signs of sexual assault.
You know, it happens. It shouldn't happen. I won't say it's a good thing, but I think that as a country that wants to live, we need to punish this terrorist more.
Are you serious? Are you serious? What? I don't understand this. You're actually being like, listen, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I think we need to punish the terrorists. You know what I'm saying? What happened to, you know what's really funny about this, how revealing this is that they constantly say that they should be treated better internationally because unlike the Palestinians, they are civilized. Like, you hear that a lot. You hear that a lot. Oh, well, unlike the Palestinians, we're civilized. You call this civilized? You say that you should get special privileges because you're civilized and they're not. This is civilized to you? Civilized behavior? I've never seen people be excited that someone's getting tortured. Not even here. Not even here. Not even here. And I know, okay, I'm not saying this in defense of the United States. The United States is not only complicit, obviously, in this genocide. We have done horrific things throughout the years. But I'm talking about after 9/11 specifically, when it was leaked that Americans were torturing people at Abu Ghraib, it was a scandal. That's not defense of the country, government, the powers that be, or the military. It's only to point out that the regular average citizen in the United States was offended by what they saw happen to the people in Abu Ghraib. We're not cheering it. Like, this is psycho.
In the middle of a war. You're
in the middle of war. This is not a war.
Soldiers in the middle of a war.
You're not interrogating anybody. You're not interrogating anybody. That's not happening. That's not a thing. You're just taking them and torturing them.
It's wrong.
How is this civilized? The protesters also tried to breach the court where the soldiers were taken. Explain to me how that's civilized.
If they touch our soldiers, we'll build a shield wall. The people will rise up against the government, be it left or right or whatever. Nobody can touch our soldiers.
Excuse me. First of all, why is that guy a whole ass white supremacist? That guy literally looks like he just got out of like the Aryan nation. First of all, that's number one. Second of all, nobody can touch our soldiers. That's a psychotic thing to say. I would never say that about the United States. If there is a soldier that commits a crime, his ass should be in jail. Period. Why are you defending the crimes? What happened to we're the most moral army? What happened to that? I thought you guys were the most moral army. Henry, that's some bullshit they don't tell you. And I've had people tell me that, and that's so messed up, like the censorship regime, because people have told me that they will click the bell. Like they subscribe to my channel, they click the bell to get notifications when I'm live, and they still don't get them. Sus.
كانوا يجوعونا كانوا يحرمونا من الأكل كنا نأكل رغيف واحد على العشاء رغيف واحد كانوا يجوعونا يستخدموا معنا أشد العقوبات كانوا يقضونا بكلبشين 24 ساعة بكلبشين ومغميين
They'll say that at least the Palestinians died to the abuse. Just the abuse. I can't. It's hard to take in because it's so horrific. And then it's so hard because it's like you want to believe, and maybe I'm only speaking for myself, but you want to believe that like in a civilized world with laws, international law, that somebody would see these people talking about this, what's happening to them, see the crimes against humanity that is being perpetrated against the Palestinians and say, no, we're stopping this now. We're stopping this now. And it's like hard to try to take in and process the fact that no, it's not. It's not. The world is fine with it. And nothing is being done. There is no international law. I also like when people try to smear Al Jazeera and go like, well, actually, Al Jazeera is Hamas and it's funded by Qatar. It's like, are you really trying to say that their press is not legitimate, but ours is? Come on. Really? Our press is a joke. Our press is corporate propaganda. Our press is Zionist garbage. It's a joke. It's all for profit. And you want to talk about Al Jazeera not being a legitimate press? Please. As a child. Oh, yeah, I know. That's what we're all told when we're growing up. It's about, and also in the West, you're taught that they just hate us for our freedoms, They hate us because we're not Muslims. Yeah, now suddenly everything from Al Jazeera is Hamas. It's just so crazy. Wait, what would I type in if I'm trying to find the video in the Knesset? Israel detainee Knesset. It was so insane. I want to find the video where the elected official in the Knesset is like, yeah, but is rape really bad? I'm trying to think of how to word that. I feel like I hear mice in my walls and I don't, but I'm not sure, but I feel like it, like I'm hearing it. Oh, here it is.
אני אומר עכשיו, ואני קורא לחברה.
All right, I'm going to read it. I literally hear mice in my walls. This is crazy. Or at least it sounds like it's coming from the wall. Okay, so this is the Israeli Knesset members. Okay, these are elected officials having a debate on whether or not it's legitimate to rape their detainees. Like, I genuinely was having a hard time, like, believing it when I first saw it. And not that I'm so surprised by things that they do at this point, but there are still some things that, like, you're taken aback by. Like, I'm like, wait, are you really defending that? What?
ואני חושב שצריך פה לתת דוגמה אישית, ואני אומר עכשיו, ואני קורא לחברי הקואליציה, לעשות כמוני, אני קם, ואני יוצא מפה, ואני לא הולך להצביע יותר על שום דבר, עד שהסיפור הזה והטרלול הזה, שיש מי שבפרקליטות חושב.
There's someone who thinks it's going too fast. Hold on.
שאפשר לבוא, והטרלול הזה.
And I'm not going to go, wait. Until this insanity.
שום דבר, עד שהסיפור הזה והטרלול הזה, שיש מי...
That there is someone in this prosecutor's office who thinks
שבפרקליטות חושב, שאפשר...
that it is possible to come and arrest soldiers for things they are doing to the Nakba terrorists. It's not over.
לבוא ולעצור חיילים על דברים שעושים למחבלי נוח'בה, לא נגמר. אוקיי?
And I am really asking, and I think my coalition friends will do well if they do the same as I do.
ואני חושב שחבריי בקואליציה טוב יעשו אם יעשו כמוני. אנחנו לא יכולים
להכניס to insert a stick in a person's rectum. Is that legitimate? Shut up. Yes, if he is a Nakba, everything is legitimate to do. Everything. That's what I wanted to know, the person said back. Do you know what these people did? Basta, never mind. What, we're doing Italian now?
Okay.
There are things you don't do. Well, I guess it's good that there's one person there that's like, hey, you know, rape is bad. But again, these are the people that are calling themselves civilized over Palestinians, saying that they're the civilized ones and the Palestinians are not. If they're supposed to be universal human rights, they're supposed to be universal human rights, and certain things that you do not do. That's kind of the point of international law, where that is supposed to be. The reason why we fucking have international law is because we're supposed to have a collective set of rules and lines we don't cross. There is supposed to be a set of human rights that apply to everybody and a line that we don't cross. And this ghoul is saying, nah, of course there's not. Of course there's not a line that you cross. There can't be a line crossed. Oh my gosh. I'll tell you one thing though, something that has happened, and I think they really did not intend for this to happen, is that so many people now understand that they're way worse than any of us thought. Like, I don't think they realize, yeah, for real, Iori, that is what they say. I don't think they realize, as they're trying to do this quote unquote defensive campaign, how much they're just revealing who they really are to the entire world. To the entire world. It's like the whole world is seeing you now. So you're not meeting your goal, really. Because your goal, as far as I understand it, was keeping up that Hasbara. Your goal, to some degree, your goal was supposed to be to keep up this Hasbara and make everybody think that you were just victims. What you have done is reveal yourself to who you really are to the whole world. This needs to be studied. How do you claim that you're going somewhere to find safe haven for yourself, and then you become the exact genocidal monsters you're claiming to be escaping? Someone make that make sense. Israel's holding more than 9,400 Palestinian hostages. You guys, this is crazy. I hear so many mice in my wall. Guys, I live in Brooklyn. It's an apartment, but the weird thing is that my neighbors are telling me that they don't have any mice. It's only in our apartment, so I don't know how they're getting in. We've sealed up all the cracks that we could find. We've sealed up all the cracks that we could find. And my neighbors are saying that they don't see any, and there are none in our basement, but for some reason they're in our apartment and we can't seem to get rid of them. I put 2 mouse traps out. Not one has gone in there. Not one. You know what, Amor? You're right. The mice are Hamas. The mice are Hamas. I saw its little green bandage. It's a little green thing. Mice are Hamas. No, I don't have a cat. I can't afford a cat. I can't afford another pet. I already have 2 dogs. They're expensive. It's just starting to drive me crazy because as far as we know, we've sealed up every hole. Like the exterminators come out multiple times, and he put mouse poison or something in the wall in our bedroom. But I'm in the living room right now, and I hear them in the wall, and I see them. I don't just hear that. I see them every night partying in the kitchen, like running around in my kitchen, like it ain't no thing. And like I said, we got 2 mouse traps. They're not falling for it. They have not gone in them at all. And as far as I know, and as far as the like building has told us, they've sealed up every crack, and yet they're still here. Wait, military. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what to do. And the thing that pisses me off about it is that like our exterminator and our building are just like, I don't know, man. I guess we're just going to have to try again. It's like, and they haven't fixed it. And that really is annoying because not only are these bitches ripping up my shit, like they're shitting everywhere and they've been tearing up our clothes, but like, also, it annoys me that they keep telling me that I need to figure out something. It's not my job. I'm not an exterminator. I'm not a mouse expert. So why do they keep telling me that I need to figure it out? The guy's like, well, I already sealed up all the holes, so I don't really know what to tell you. I don't know how they're getting in. Your neighbors don't have them. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm not a professional. You're supposed to be the professional. I'm not a mouse whisperer. Jamais. Jamais. That was good, Gaz. No, it's been going on for a little while. No, the weather. Now the weather is the what are they called? Those gross ass lantern flies. So let me catch you guys up on what's happening this week. Wait. Oh, I don't know. I don't know where it went. The video of the girl being like, we just got to get better with our propaganda. Lantern flies are really disgusting bugs. Ugh, let me show you. Oh, they're so gross. I hate them. They're disgusting. Look at that weirdo. They're disgusting. Like, this is so yikes. Okay, so yesterday, I was standing in my apartment. Not that I know of. But I was standing in my apartment, right? And I look outside my window in my backyard, and I see this nasty ass thing, okay? But it was looking right at me. It was looking, first of all, they gross me out. Their legs gross me out. The way they walk gross me out. It's just like, they like walk like this. It's super gross. And it was looking right at me. It had like googly eyes. It looked like he was wearing a mask. Lanternfly front view. Yes, this was it. Oh my gosh. Where'd it go? Hi. No. Okay, hold on. I wanted to show you guys this. That legitimately, that's how it looked. Yes, I do have AC. Yeah, same Eeyore. I don't like butterflies either. But like this thing is so creepy. So I look outside my door last night and it was seriously looking at me like that. It was disgusting. And then it started kind of like walking away with its creepy legs. I was like, oh my gosh, I just hate them. So like mice don't gross me out like that, like scare me like that. But obviously I don't want mice in my apartment because they're dirty and they like ruin your stuff and they eat your food and they leave shit everywhere. There's been so much mouse poop I've had to clean up in my apartment. It's insane. It's literally insane. Like, and the mice get into places I don't know how they got into them. Like, I don't know how a mouse got into my closet that has no windows and into my bra drawer. Like, how? It's really frustrating because I just don't know how they're getting in. Like, I think they are in the walls because I feel like I hear them in my walls. But I don't know how to get rid of them. Yeah, no, they're really, really gross. They are very, very gross. Okay? They're just very gross. But you know what's cute? Say hi, Shagan. Say hi, Mary. Say hi, Mary. This is my little baby. Why are you gray? Why are you gray? Yeah, David, that's true, but they still gross me out. Oh, okay. So this is Eggy. Okay. This is Eggy. He's my little egg, and I named him Eggy because he has an egghead. Why you gray? Why you gray? Okay, that's Eggy. And then this is Melvin. Melvin is my other dog. I have what to do. And what to do. He's so cute. Look how one of his ear hairs longer. Melon. Melon. Aren't they cute? I'll tell you what, though. They're dachshunds, and dachshunds are supposed to be badger hunters, but they're not. They don't do anything. You're useless, Hal, when it comes to hunting, Hal. What to do? Yeah, they really are, but it's just amazing though because they don't do anything. Like there will be mice in my apartment and the dogs don't even notice. I'm like, I thought you guys were supposed to be badger hunters. Okay. Henry, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it so much. Again, I really do. And I will always say thank you. No matter, like, whenever I get them, I will always make an effort to say thank you because I understand that, you know, it's not just like whatever, like people are using their hard-earned money, whether it's $2, $5, $20 to support my channel and to support the work that I do and the content that I create. And I truly appreciate that. I truly appreciate you and everybody that has done so and supports my content and the work that I do. So thank you. You said flip inside bucket lid mouse trap. Look that up on Amazon. It's like $18. You just need a bucket. Wait. All right, I will look that up. But you know what I have is the electronic ones. Like electronic mousetrap. Yeah, this is the one that I have. Hold on. I'll show it to you. This is the one I got. And it doesn't do anything. Like literally. It has not caught. I've got 2 of them. One for rats and one for mice. I just thought that maybe it would work. It would do something. Nothing. Nothing. It hasn't caught one mouse. Not one. Well, guys, if it makes you feel any better that I have a kill trap, it hasn't worked. They haven't gone in there, so they haven't been killed. If that makes you feel any better. Honestly, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I was laughing because I was about to say, like, what's your name? Kamala Harris. I'm gonna be real with you. Is that the reason why, honestly, the reason why that I got this trap was because, and this is going to sound harsh, I know it's going to sound bad, is that it's not that I mind mice being killed. It's that I don't want them to be killed inhumanely. Like, oh, so I made the mistake of trusting my exterminator. Okay, the exterminator doesn't do... You guys don't even get me started on my exterminator, okay? So he comes to my apartment to do another useless look around for mice because this has been going on now for like 3 months, you guys. So he comes into my apartment to do another useless check and he goes, here, I gave you a bunch of glue traps. And I go, I don't want glue traps. Glue traps are really inhumane. It basically just makes them stick there until they die of starvation. Like, that's really gross. So, I'm like, okay, I don't want glue traps because I don't want to have them killed inhumanely. It's not that I mind them being killed. It's just that I don't want them dying in an inhumane way. So he goes, all right, I'll give you snap traps. I'm like, I don't want snap traps because I just said I don't want them killed inhumanely. And he goes, oh, no, don't worry about it. The snap trap will kill them instantly. It will. It'll kill them immediately. There will be no suffering. It'll kill them immediately. That is disgusting, Gaz. I didn't even know that. I thought that they just died of starvation. But if they chew their limbs off, that makes it even worse. Yeah. Again, I know that some people might find this really bad to say, but like, I don't mind if mice get killed. I just mind if they get killed in an inhumane way. So, like, if they get killed in a zap trap by getting electrocuted and they die immediately, then I'm not really that upset about it. I just don't want them dying in a way that is, like, inhumane and makes them suffer. Like, that I don't want to do. So this guy tells me, all right, I'll give you a snap trap and it'll kill them instantly. Because I'm like, again, I don't want anything inhumane that's going to leave them alive. I want them killed instantly. He goes, yeah. So I'll give you the snap trap. Then about a week ago, okay, maybe it was a little bit longer, I hear a mouse crying. I hear a little meep, 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 meep. It was horrible. So I go and I wake up my husband, okay? And I say to him, because he sometimes is in a bad mood when I wake him up in the middle of the night or if he gets up in the middle of the night. And I was like, bro, I am not in the mood for you to give me any grief about this. I need you to get up because I need you to check behind the stove to see if one of those traps got one of the mice because I hear him crying. So he goes and he looks back and the mouse was in the snap trap, but it wasn't dead. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. David, did you just compare me to an Israeli? Because if you did, get out of my chat. Banned. Banned from my chat. Banned from my community. Because I said that I didn't mind killing mice as long as it was in a humane way. And David, I think you were referring to me when you said that's how most moral Israelis feel toward the Palestinians. First of all, if you are comparing me to a psychotic Israeli, I need you to gay it. I gay it. I will not have it. Second of all, that's a really crazy fucking thing to say because Palestinians aren't mice. They're not rodents. This is crazy. Human beings are not rodents. Do I have to say that? Yeah, the difference is, David, is that the attitude that the Israelis have toward the Palestinians is psychotic because the Palestinians are human beings. If I allow a mouse to be killed in a trap that are all in my apartment, that thing is still a rodent. Insane. Yeah, so anyway, back to my story. I got distracted by that crazy comment. Crazy. Anyway, so the mouse was still alive. So I told my husband he had to kill the mouse because I didn't want it suffering. I did not want it suffering. I did not want it just suffering in the trap and having to die. So I told him to kill it. It was horrible. It was traumatizing. It was very traumatizing. I do not want the mice suffering. I don't want the mice suffering. I also don't want the mice in my house. Like, I don't want the mice in my apartment. I don't know what's going on, but there's clearly an infestation because I am waking up every single day with mouse feces all over my apartment that I have to clean up. And I don't know how to get rid of them. Yeah, but if I catch and release them, they're just going to come back. Or a good source of bearded dragon or snake food. Will snake food get rid of them? Hey, wee wee jumbo. Yeah, no, sorry. Anyway, the reason why I got those traps to begin with is so that they would kill them instantly, but it doesn't matter anyhow because they're not using them. But yes, I do want to get rid of the mice. I'm fine. I'm still reeling from that comment. It was so crazy. To be like, yeah, well, actually, that's how Israelis treat Palestinians. Yeah, and Palestinians are people. They're not rodents. Rodents are rodents. And the idea of like actually using that as an example by comparing Palestinians to my apartment having a rodent problem is really fucked up. Like, that's sick. You could get a tiger. Yeah, wee. Someone actually said that to me. I told him to get out of my chat, though. Tiger might knock down the wall and make a new room. Honestly, I've been so desperate. I actually did think about getting a cat, but then I remembered that cats and pets are expensive. And I cannot afford to have another pet. Because my dogs certainly don't do anything. They're like, no, we're cool with it. It's fine. Venom snake, I don't know because I've seen both mice and rats. First of all, in New York City, our rats are huge, so you really can't mistake them with mice. Cat would look at you, demand you solve the problem. Yeah, that's the thing. I know they're mice because, like I said, we have rats in New York City. I've had rats in my backyard, and you can tell them apart. The mice that are in my apartment are very tiny. They're very small. They're like maybe this big, the mice. The rats in my backyard are massive. Massive. The rats in New York City, they're huge. Like, you can't mistake them for mice. Yeah, but Theater of the Absurd, you know what's crazy? Yeah, rats are much bigger, especially in New York. We have our own kind of mice because they eat the subway trash and the pizza. First of all, I would never get a snake. Snakes freak me the fuck out. Are you kidding me? Second of all, I have told my neighbors, and that is what is so puzzling about this situation, is that I told my neighbors, and my neighbors told me they don't have a problem. It's only in our unit. I hear the New York subway is infested with rats. True. It is. It is. You honestly just accept it. I've just accepted it. I've had rats run across my feet when I'm walking. And like, to accept it on the subway and in the like in the street, that's one thing, but I don't want them in my apartment. That's true, Iori, but New York City subway is particularly gross. Honestly, the rats are gross, but they don't freak me out. Like, they don't scare me. Like, the way, like, just like the mice in my apartment. Like, it sucks. I want them out. But they don't scare me the way, like, lantern flies scare me, or the worst of the worst of the worst that scare me the most, and I will freak out if I see one, is a cockroach. When I see a cockroach, like one of the big ones, the ones that some people call water bugs, but they're just roaches, they're huge roaches, I can't handle that. I can't handle that. And especially when it comes to them, no sympathy. No, let them live. I want those motherfuckers dead as a doornail, out of my life, gone, burn in hell, roaches. All of them. Yeah, that's true. Yes, they can fly, guys. I never heard them called water bugs either until I moved to New York. And they started calling them water bugs, which I felt like was just gaslighting. Like, they were trying to, like, give them a new name in hopes we wouldn't notice they were roaches. Like 2 inches long. Ugh. Yeah, it is terrifying. Yeah, Texas has like a variation of huge roaches. I know that Florida does, but New York does too. Like, they're disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah, they're disgusting. I can't deal with it. I can't handle it. To kill roaches is like one of the only reasons why I decided it was important to get married. Because I needed my husband to get rid of the roaches. I don't have a vacuum that strong. If I had a vacuum that strong, yeah, we'd be in business. My vacuum is not that strong. So anyway, I got distracted. And I was just confused by one of the yeah, see, Henry, you're calling them water bugs too. I don't know why they call them water bugs. They're legit just roaches that are big, that fly. They fly. Oh, yes, they fly. They fly here in New York. Blah! Although that's not what they look like here. That's what they look like. This is what they look like in New York City. They're yes. Ah! Like I literally shake. I can't deal with it. Like the one in the corner right there with the blue in the background, that's what they look like in New York. I actually have to take this down because it's really upsetting me. Like I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. I literally left my apartment one day for hours. They eat them in parts of Asia. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I can't handle that. Why? Gaz, are they native? Fried roaches dipped in chocolate. All right, whatever, man. Like, if that's true, that first of all, I can't even handle. Like, I can't handle that. That's yeah. They fly in New York too, Luke. People can eat whatever they want. Obviously, everybody have different cultures. Same here, like with the US. Like I know, like we think it's weird when people eat certain animals, but not other animals. Like we eat cows and chickens, but we won't eat like cow tongue. Like it's just, or some people don't want to eat duck, like whatever. Like everybody has their own thing. But I'll tell you what I would not ever be eating is a roach because they are demonic. Demonic. They really, really scare me. I cannot think of anything that scares me more than roaches. Just stopping by to say thank you for standing with the Palestinians. I appreciate your work. Oh, thank you. You know what? Now I'm regretting that I've been talking about this because what if Zionists come and find me and like throw a roach on me? Like, what if the Zionists like find me and they throw a roach at me? I'm gonna have nightmares now. I'm gonna have a nightmare now. So when it comes to my streaming, I'm not going to have a stream next week because I will be out of the state. I will be out. I will be traveling. But what I am excited about is when I come back, I'm going to finally have a set schedule of streaming. I've been wanting to have a set schedule for streaming for a long time, but I haven't been able to just because I've been traveling too much. So, we are going to South Carolina. South Carolina. I'm not going out of the country or anything. So, oh yeah, I'll probably make some TikToks while I'm there, but I won't be able to actually like sit down and do like a stream like this. Honestly, Iori, it's really not a vacation for me because I probably shouldn't say this out loud because I don't want to getting back to my husband. I love my husband's family. Don't get me wrong. His family is wonderful. But like, I'm not a big fan of traveling. And I'm also not a huge fan of the beach. So when we go on this vacation to like go to the beach, I'm like, I don't really like traveling. I don't really like the beach. But I'm going. This is what you do for your husband, folks. I'm doing it for my husband. So, in any event, I'll probably make a couple TikToks while I'm there, but I won't be able to like stream like this for hours on end. So yeah, that's going to be next week, but I will be back the following week to stream. And then I'm going to do a schedule, like a set schedule. Because like I said, I've wanted to do a set schedule when it comes to streaming for a while. I just haven't because I've been traveling too much. I think that what I am going to make my schedule once I get back from this vacation, it's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays at like 5. Is 5 good actually, or should it be later? Actually, unironically, Iori, that is the one thing I am really looking forward to. Food in the South. Oh, it's so banger. It's so banger. Food, like the Southerners, they know how to make food. There is a sausage called Knesset sausage that they do not sell in New York or on the East Coast. They only sell it in the South, and it is amazing sausage. Yeah, Theater of the Absurd. BBQ, yeah, totally. They know how to barbecue in a way that the East Coast does not. Yeah, the South has really, really good food. The South knows how to like, you know what I really am looking forward to is the Knesset sausage. I want to get that. Also, they're just better. It's spicy food. And listen, I love spicy food. I love spicy food. Make anything spicy, it's better. I love, 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 love spicy food. And the spicy food on the East Coast is often very underwhelming. But the South knows how to make some good spicy chicken. And they also make delicious, the thing I'm really looking forward to about going to the South is gumbo. I love gumbo. Except for like, I pick out the shrimp or whatever because I don't like seafood. Driving to the beach is fun. I'm just not really a beach person, you know? I don't know. Yeah, I love gumbo. I'm just not like, oh, it's so good, Gaz. I'm going to have to show you. It's like, hold on, gumbo. I was literally looking up places that would have gumbo. So I don't like seafood, and they usually have seafood in them. So I just pick it out. And then this is it. Oh, it's so good. I don't even know what it is that makes it so good. They like put rice in it. It usually has like kielbasa or some kind of thing. Yeah, it's so guys, it's delicious. It's delicious. YouTube is not letting you send it. No. Gumbo is not curry. It's not. No, it's not. It tastes totally different. Although curry is delicious. I love curry, especially spicy curry. I love spicy curry. Do I like grits? Yes. I know. I'm actually starting to get hungry too. I haven't eaten today except for that little green smoothie that I just had. It wasn't very good. America has a bad reputation in the world because people don't know about the actual American food like gumbo. Yeah. First of all, America has a lot of delicious food, okay? Second of all, what people don't understand about America is that America is a huge country with tons of different cultural influences. Like if you're in New York, bitch, you don't even know how good the halal is here. There is a halal cart down the street from my apartment. Now, I don't know where the guy is from because it just says Middle Eastern food. I don't know what that means. That can mean anything. But I get lamb over rice. And I don't know what he puts on it. He puts hot sauce on it and a little white sauce on it. That is delish. Delish. Also, there are people from all over the world that come to America and then make their cuisine here, and it's amazing. Amazing. Also, yeah, some American food, like gumbo and Southern food, oh, it is so good. And if you're in the western part of the United States, the Mexican there is amazing. I used to live in Colorado, and the Mexican in Colorado was so good. It's not good on the East Coast, but. Okay, somebody tell me where this is from. The lamb over rice I get, okay? This is the lamb over rice that I always get. Oh my gosh, it is so good. And I get it from the halal carts that are in Brooklyn. But I don't know what the white sauce is. They put red sauce on it and white sauce on it. And then they just make lamb over rice. It is delicious. It's delicious. It's so fresh. But like I said, I don't even know like what kind of food it is because it doesn't say. Like it doesn't say like oftentimes if you go to an Asian restaurant here, it'll tell you what kind. It'll say like Korean cuisine or Thai or Japanese. Like it doesn't say, it just says Middle Eastern food. Yeah, Michael, it is like a yogurt, but it's delicious. Delicious. I should ask the guy next time I go to the halal cart where he is from. I think I wanted... Grits in the South are amazing. I think I actually wanted to ask him the last time I went to the cart to get lamb over rice where he was from, but then I decided not to because I was afraid he would think that I was like trying to get where he was from so I could like be a Zionist. And I didn't want him thinking that I was a Zionist, and that's why I was asking him. What I would really love to try if I ever went to Europe would be cheese in France. Because I have heard that the cheese in France is not pasteurized like it is here, so it's better. I don't know, though. I must be getting spammed on Twitch because all the comments are coming from X and YouTube, and then the occasional one I get from Twitch is like a scam, being like, hey, sign up for my thing. Should I even stream on Twitch? Like, it seems like it's not worth it. It's just poorly made time. Yeah, but Michael, I heard the fact that it's not pasteurized is what makes it better. Oh, that sounds so good, Henry. A ham and cheese sandwich on a baguette. There's an Israeli restaurant here in Brooklyn that basically it's just like food that like Middle Eastern people came up with. It's like shakshuka and like what's that other thing called? I don't remember. But in any event, I just wanted to give you guys that update. I hope you guys are fine with 5 to 7 Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's what I'm thinking. That once I get back from this, I'll do Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 7. And I think that that's good. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm usually posting on TikTok or X or Instagram. But in any event, I should wrap this up because I really got to pee again. And now I'm really hungry. I am very hungry. Although I'm not going to go out to eat because I'm broke. So I am going to make some of the pasta in my apartment. Hopefully it doesn't have mouse poop on it for dinner. So I love you all. Thank you again to everybody who is a member of my channel on YouTube. Thank you to everyone who sent me a super chat or a super sticker during this live. I appreciate you all very much. I appreciate you all very much. I appreciate you being here. Even if you don't become a member, subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell so that you get notifications when I go live. And again, thank you to everybody who has donated and helped my work to help me continue to support the channel. I love you all. I love you all. Everybody eat a good dinner. Thank you, Theater of the Absurd. That is so nice of you. I appreciate that. I love you all. And I will see you on Tuesday when I get back from my vacation. In the meantime, you can catch me on the other platforms. Free Palestine. Do not forget, everybody. I know a lot of people just went back to sleep since Kamala came around, but we must not forget that we need to keep working until we have a free Palestine. I love you all, and I will see you next time. Oh, yeah, that too. Follow me on X. You'll get a better notification. Love you all. Free Palestine.